What up, everybody? It's me, Mr. Ryan, here with another deck profile to give y'all that chaos. Mayhem at your car fighting areas. It was requested by Master Beetle to do this profile, so I'm going to go ahead and do this for my mans out there, fellow Megacolony player. Of course, we're running Machining Little B to help restand our rested rear guards because Stag Beetle calls things out at rest. War Sickle calls things out at rest from the soul. So we want to go ahead and push this in the soul, restand and give it +3. So now this is kind of combo centric, and the must-have of the trigger lineup is for Machining Firefly. When it's placed on the rear, counterblast one, restand one of your rear guards, and stun one of your opponent's rested rear guards. So why is that important? I'll get to that later on. God dog it, having technical difficulties around this bitch. God dog it. Got 2 Machining Butterfly optional. You can have 4. I'm running 2 Ignite Chaffer. Pushing the soul +3 to a unit not necessary. I just like the extra draw because of one of our strides. 4 machining draw vanilla and 4 machining honeybee. That whole thing with G guard, that's the thing. For grade 1s, we got 2 stride fodder because striding is always going to be a thing. We don't mind pitching our 3s mostly, and we also want to come across more machining cards than often than not. Then we have 4 of the 10k attacker, Machining Black Soldier. Then we have 4 of the countercharge PG because we have no other means to countercharge, unlike Darkface, who has that nice stand. And then my personal choice is Machining Cricket. Now going back to what I was saying with Machining Firefly, you call that down, restand this guy. So what this skill is, you rest it. Something in that column on your opponent's side of the field, it cannot stand. So you call Firefly, restand this, and you can rest it again and choose a different target. So it's not once per turn, which is fantastic. So you can go ahead and stun a whole column if you want to. Just a personal preference. If you didn't want to run that, Machining Caucasus has always been a good booster. Got 3 Tarantula. On hit, counterblast the machining, stun something on your opponent's field. Good on ride pressure. Every deck has that ideal ride, and of course that is what you want. We got 12k attacker, Machining Red Soldier. So yeah, this is very simple, but you want to stay aggressive, And then the best grade 2 on rear circle is Machining Mosquito Mach 2. So it's a it's a 11k attacker. If you have a machining van, when this attack hits once per turn, you can restand one of your rear guards and stun one of your opponent's rear guards. So the thing with that is that all of your opponent's rear guards has to be at rest. So it's it's just a 9k swing, but should they had they go first, it's fine, whatever. But that is that. So yeah, like I said. So the 3s, we have 1 Machining Spark Hercules. Should your opponent play the grade 2 game, he has a built-in crit when he attacks. Counterblast 2 machinings. What is it? Counterblast 2 machinings when it attacks. Pay the cost. If your opponent's field is at risk, you get 10,000 critical +1, and you get to choose one of your opponent's rear guards and it can't stand. That's alright. But should your opponent have something at stand, Soul Blast and machining, and you can rest all your opponent's rear guards. So they can't get around that. We got 3 Stag Beetle, he's pretty good for early ride, calling two things out of soul with machining in its name at rest. He gains the original power of those two units. So it's good to call out, was it Cricket, Machining Cricket, and the Mosquito Mach 2. Other than that, he helps fill your field for the Machining Destroyer. And then we got four, my favorite from the First Fighters collection, Machining War Sickle. Should your opponent be at 4 and 5 damage, of course they're not going to let it hit. Should he not hit, Counter Blast 2, your opponent cannot restand during their next stand phase. That's cool. And then when you ride it, Counter Blast a Machining, you get to call the Machining from your soul at rest. So, like I said, Machining Firefly plays a major role. Then for the strides, of course, this is machining, so Machining Destroyer is a must-have at no less than 3, at least for right now, because it's a very simple skill. Fill your field full of machinings, so 4 more machinings at on rear. Counter blast the machining. You get to choose a rear guard to stun and choose a vanguard to stun. So you have 4 or more rear guards with machining on rear circle. So very simple to do for a simple counter blast, especially since we have a lot of things to fill the soul. Got one Spear for just in case if I don't have any machining counter blast to go pop off, but my opponent has 3 or more rested units. Or is it 3 more? Yep, 3 more. So he gets +5, and you get to draw a card. So that's a good little, head advantage there. 3 Stun Beetle. On hit pressure, should your opponent let this guy hit Counter Blast 2 Persona Flip, your opponent cannot re-ride or re-stand the next turn. It's a GB2 skill, so if you got to get your G guarding on, then this could be a good second stride. So this is pretty much to bait out those PGs early. That's pretty much it with that. I got 2 of the Dark Face. He's just really a space filler. I would like to have 2 more and test that out and see how that goes. But he does cancel intercept, and they cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. So the more you have him in face up, the more targets you get to target on your opponent's rear, as long as they don't have resist. Not only that, but each target you do choose, he gets a +5. +5? That's awesome. So no crits to those front row rear guards. He's better suited to Dark Face, of course. Then we got 2, what's this boy called? Abiturandus. He cancels any and all summoning for your opponent for 1 whole turn. Any and all. That includes special summon. So, Counter Blast 2, discard a card, and your opponent loses any and all rear guard support. That's fantastic. It's hard to run him more than 2 in this deck because of the countercharge PG being the only source outside of healing. We got 2 Mutant Deity Fortification Gristfort. I like her skill because some people run Amber clones, and of course they have to be boosted for the effect to go off. So when the Vanguard attacks Counter Blast 1, you get to rest your opponent's back row. So those big, massive Bruno numbers, or those very important grade ones that could do things from the back row, or those Amber clones that you would need a booster, really messes up Aquaforce. So yeah, she gets +5 for every 2 that was rested in the back row, so she only gets a +5 until the game makes a room for another backup unit. And the last 2
Scarabag, Scarabacus.
He is simply 2 or more at rest. He gets +5. Very easy to do. If you didn't like that ratio, take her down 1 and him up 1. The deck does not have any generation cards whatsoever, so Seabreeze isn't needed. If you want to put her in, that's fine. You'll be wasting Counterblast since this whole deck is Limit Break or Machining Vanguard oriented. So, Master Beetle, I hope this gave you some insight on, the similarities between our decks, or, just a different direction of if you didn't want to run certain cards or just whatever. Appreciate you watching. Anybody else that would like for me to do a deck profile on a different clan or for me to try something out, go ahead, leave it in the comments section. Comment, like, subscribe. Holler at your boy, and be sure to share the videos with your grandma, auntie, dad, brothers, sisters, and her sister's sister, which may be, your half sister, because your family. And you know what? I'm done.